Hello friends, welcome back. For this episode, we are adding integers. Alright, so if we're adding positive integers, so we have two integers over here, 7 plus 4, the signs are the same. I'm going to start by just sketching a number line here. And I'm not going to write in all of the individual numbers, I'm just going to show you where 0 would be. And we're adding 7 plus 4, so I'm going to start up here where 7 is. So if this is where I start, and I'm going to add 4 to that. So from here, if I start at 7 and I add 4, adding is going to move me to the right on my number line, and I'm going to move right 4 spaces. So we would go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we would move out 4 spaces, and it tells us where we're going to stop. And 7 plus 4, so if we added 4 spaces to this, we're going to end up here at 11. So 7 plus 4 is 11. Positive 7 plus positive 4 is 11. Let's look at another example. And in this example, we're adding integers with different signs. So we have a negative plus a positive. So this one's going to be a little bit different. You probably guessed. Start by sketching out our number line here. And again, you don't have to write in all the numbers. I'm just going to put where 0 is. I'm going to estimate over here about where negative 2 probably is. So we're starting at negative 2. So here's where we begin. And we're adding, and since we add, we're moving to the right 5 places. Well, if I move 2 places, I'm here at 0. But I haven't gone all the way that I'm supposed to because I got to add 5 places to it. So if we add 5, that means we're moving to the right 5 places. I've already gone 2. So I've already gone 2, and now I'm going to go 3, 4, 5 more places. So negative 2 plus 5 gets me up here at positive 3. So negative 2 plus 5 gets us a positive 3. So when you're adding different signs, there's going to be a rule for us that we need to know in a minute. And essentially what you can think of is just subtracting the numbers. Let's look at another example. Adding integers with different signs. So it's the same thing, only different. So now we're adding different signs, and this one's a little different because on the last example, you might remember, the negative came first. On this example, the negative is our second number here. So 5 plus negative 8. Again, sketching out my number line. Just makes it easier for me to see. So I start where 0 is, and here's 5. So 5 is where I'm going to start for this one, plus negative 8. Now, when we added, in the previous examples, that always moved us right. But let's think about this one for just a second. So we have 5 plus negative 8. Let's rewrite that without using double signs. And really what we have is 5 minus 8. And this minus sign is going to tell me that I got to move left 8 places because I'm adding a negative 8. So I'm going to move left 8 places. So we're going to go 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that gets us to 0. So we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we go left 5 places, now here we are at 0. But I got to go 3 more to get to 8. So now we're going to go 1, 2, 3. So 5 plus negative 8 gets us negative 3. So again, just a little hint, when you're adding integers with different signs, think of it as like subtraction. Now we're adding negative integers. So we're adding integers with the same sign, only this time they're both negatives. And when we're doing that, I'm going to start by sketching my number line. And for this one, when you write your number line, we're not going to put 0 right in the middle for this one. I'm going to scoot it up here because we're dealing with all the negatives over here. And I'm going to start at negative 2. And I've got to subtract 6 or add negative 6. Now remember, on that last problem I showed you, I rewrite it without using the double sign. So really this is like negative 2 minus 6. So the subtraction tells me I've got to move left. And I got to move left 6 places. So here we go. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so now we get all the way out here, and we've subtracted 6. We end up at, and you could count it out if you wanted to, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8. So -2 minus 6, or -2 plus -6, really is -8. All right, so let's summarize what we talked about here. If you're adding two numbers with the same sign, so let's say that we added +3 plus +5, or -3 plus -5. So that's adding two numbers with the same sign. I'm just going to add these numbers together, and I'm going to take the sign they have in common. -3 plus -5, they have a negative in common, so that's -8. Now if I'm adding two numbers with different signs, the first one I'm going to look at, and again I'm just making up a problem here, let's just do, I don't know, -6 plus 10. Or we could even say, I don't know, 9 plus -15. So if you add numbers with different signs, subtract the numbers. So -6 plus 10. If you subtract 10 minus 6, you get 4. And then you're going to take the sign of the number with the greater absolute value. Since 10 has a bigger absolute value than 6, the answer here would be +4. 9 plus -15. If you subtract those, so let's just subtract 15 minus 9, and you get 6. Well, 6 is not the final answer, because 9 plus -15 is actually going to get us a negative number. And I take the sign of the number with the larger absolute value. -15 has a bigger absolute value. Therefore, my answer is negative. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon.